Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the class of Business Ethics. Dear students, today we are going to discuss some more about ethics, and here in this lecture we are going to discuss about the stakeholder and stakeholder management approach. In the last session we already discussed about the corporate social responsibility, and we explained in detail that what is corporation, and in my previous lecture I also explained a bit idea about the stakeholder, and today shall try my level best to explain the stakeholder concept in detail, and then we also will discuss that what is stakeholder management approach. Now let's start from the beginning. First of all, I would like to explain the definition of stakeholder. It simply says that stakeholder are people who have an interest in a company or organization affairs. It simply means that stakeholders are those entities that who having interest in a company or organization. If you notice, students, if you notice the word stakeholder, here I would like to highlight here. Look at here. When I'm saying stake, is it? And then we have holder. It means stake. Generally, stake means that the interest, and holder means the person who possesses the interest. So interest holder. So stakeholders are the people or the entities who having interest in the organization. They are simply known as stakeholder. Up suppose I am working in Salam as a teacher. So definitely I am acting as a teacher in Salam. So definitely I have an interest in Salam. Different interest it can be. Like for example, I'm delivering my services to Salam, and in response Salam is, for example, providing me the salary. So that is known as clear the interest. Again, somebody that they have invested into Salam, again they have some interest, that their investment. The people they are connected with the organization. So those people that they have interest or they are linked, connected with the organization directly or indirectly, they have some sort of interest with the organization, simply those entities are known as stakeholders. It can be the people, individual, employees, it can be groups, like for example unions, political groups, management groups, teams, or other organization like some financial institutions, some other organizations, some banks, is it, some charitable organizations who have an interest, again a connection or a claim in an organization, in what it does and in how well it performs as stakeholders. Like for example investors. Investors, clear, it can be an individual, and investors it can be, for example, the group or the financial organization, it can be the organizations. They have some interest in the organization and they have claim over the organizations. Why? Because how an organization is performing. Because organization, clear, because investors, clear, they have invested their money in the organization. So organization must show its performance to the investor, even to the shareholders as well. And in how well it performs, clear, are simply known as stakeholders, or they are connected, concerned with the stakeholders. Shareholders, the people who having the shares in the organization, or the people who hold the shares of the organization. It can be deferred shareholder, it can be preferred shareholder, is it? Shareholder chikam de seshwa ya investor chikam de organization chikam de, definitely it will expose its performance clear to the investors, to the shareholders. No zakada which stakeholders are simply the people who having some interest, who having some claim over the organization resources. For example, gora zama yo claim de over the organization, that when I'm rendering my services, so in response of the services I definitely get salary from the organization. That is a claim. That's my claim de. If suppose I have invest clear my resources like machinery, is it, in the organization. So it means I have a claim over the organization, Zawelasham, is it? Now all these are simply known as the stakeholders, the entities, the people, the group, the other organizations who having some interest or who are simply connected directly or indirectly linked with the organization simply are known as your stakeholders. अब we have two types of stakeholders. आज खुद देर ज़्यादा थी, लेकिन generally we have internal stakeholders and we have external stakeholders. Or by the name it is clear. Internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. मतलब अंदरूनी stakeholders and external stakeholders, बैरूनी stakeholders. अब let's start from the first, that who are the internal stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are people who are closest to an organization and have the strongest or most direct claim on the organizational resources. मतलब internal stakeholders are those people that who are internally connected with the organization very strongly, who have a very strong bonds with the organization, or they have the strong claims over the organizational resources. Like for example, as I told you, that employees. Employees. I have a first claim over the organization that I'm getting clear, I'm delivering the services, and in response I'm getting the salary. Is it? Then ilawa shareholders. Ab shareholders, Saifa, these are basically stakeholders. Ab who are shareholders? Thanga chama sasto which gura aga kasan which possess the shares of the organization. They are simply known as the shareholders. Of the people who are internally very much linked, connected with the organization is known as your internal stakeholders. And then we have external stakeholders. Like for example, the external outermost stakeholders can be the people, can be the group, it can be the other organizations, can be the individual who don't own the organizations, are not employed by it, but they have some interest in your businesses. What it says, external stakeholders are those people that who are in the outer extremes of the organization, yet they are not the employees of the organization, or yet they are not, for example, internally connected with the organization, but externally they are definitely connected with the organization, can be directly and indirectly. They don't have clear the power, or they don't have the capability to possess over the organization, to claim over the organization directly. Like for example, who the external stakeholders are, it can be the government, can be the customers, can be the suppliers, the distributors, the government, the trade unions, the local communities, the special interest groups like political parties, and the general public. All these are simply known as your external stakeholder. I would like to explain from a simple example, that is a customer. Customers, they are not internally connected with the organization, but externally they have a very much influence over the organization. Sanga, suppose organization chikamde, your company chikamada aha product jodi. Let's suppose customer customer totally boycott the product. If customer boycott the product, what will be happen? The sale will definitely get affected. That is the power of the customer. It means that customers are external stakeholder, but they are directly connected, linked with the organization. Now, which government, customers, trade unions, sexual local communities, societies, sexual suppliers, all these are known as your external stakeholder. Hope inshallah a bit idea bata clear shabi hum bhi. Up here we have a concept that what is stakeholder management approach. Before starting the definition, let me explain the concept very easily. What is management? Remember, we study that management is a system, it is a method, it's a technique, that where things are to be done through people effectively and efficiently. So now that is a system with the help of which the management, the organization, taking care of their stakeholder. So a managerial system approach means method, is it? A managerial method with the help of which the management taking care or take care the interest of stakeholder. In other words, gore kalama when I was explaining in my previous lecture about the CSR, I told you, Chugura, we discuss a concept, the right concept. Chugura, customer de, is it employee de, government de, whatever, the entities we have. They have an interest in the organization and then clear they have rights over the organization. Like take the example of employee. Ab employee, say employee having some rights over the management. मतलब company money पर management money employees right लरी. मतलब employee having rights over the management and management also having rights over the employee. सही हुआ? Like for example, I'm an employee. सही हुआ? अब organization में मैंने दा right लरी, I have to give my service to the organization. अब जमा right से दे, I have to get salary on time clear from the organization. It means that employee having rights over the organization and organization having rights over the, for example, employee. उस management चे कला employee rights fulfill की effectively and efficiently. Is it? So the method, the approach, the technique or the methodology through which the organization, the company, the management, it protects the interest of the stakeholders within the organization. So this approach, this management, this system is simply known as a stakeholder management approach. Are you getting my point? Like employee rights थी ना, customer rights थी. नो चेकला management organization company the rights protect की. नो पकम method सरा, पकम technique सरा, सही पकम approach सरा protect की. This system दे तमुंगा वही stakeholder management approach. Now let's start. Stakeholder management approach, it is a way of understanding the effects of environmental forces. It can be technological force, environmental different forces. Already we have discussed these things. So different environmental forces affect matlab technological de, political de, government issues the whole environmental factors and groups on specific issues which affect stakeholders and their welfare. Is it? Like how do companies communicate media? मतलब कंपनी च कम दे फॉर एग्जांपल आहा मीडिया सर संग कम्युनिकेट की पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप सर संग ट्रीटिंग की कंज्यूमर च कम दे कस्टमर्स हाउ दे ट्रीट विद द कस्टमर्स इज इट हाउ दे हैंडल द कस्टमर्स हाउ फॉर एग्जांपल दे डू द कंपेटिटर्स इज इट या हाउ दे हैंडल द कंपेटिटर्स और हाउ दे डू द कंपटीशन विद द कंपेटिटर्स एंड विद अदर ग्रुप्स रिस्पॉन्ड व्हेन दे आर अफेक्टिंग बाय एन इशू थ्रेट और अपॉर्चुनिटी सिंपली स्टेटेड मतलब योर कस्टमर कंप्लेंट दे your organization अगर customer ला for example अगर सोरा right fulfill की like suppose जमा company ला and I'm for example producing a product A is it अब how much my product is reliable, how much my product is valid, how much my product is for example having a guarantee, is it how much my product is accurate, how much my product provide satisfaction clear to my customer, is it how much let's suppose my product is true in nature. मतलब whatever the guarantee I have, whatever the warranty I have, is it whatever the claim I have. ज़वाया मा product दे दहा चिकम दे. For example, if I have a claim, ज़मा product चिकम दे, it has a 3 years guarantee. अब really it has a 3 year guarantee. मतलब ज़वाया मा ज़मा दा pen दे. Suppose, I have a pen product. ज़वाया मा this pen will clear for example stand up to 6 months. दा pen चिकम दे दा बशपागु म्याश तो पर कार करी. अब that is a claim of mine. Organization company that claim kai ab I am my this claim is valid, it is really valid or not. That is basically the right of the customer that we have to give clear a real satisfactory response to the customer. Now the customer in right there. So now how a company, how a management is protecting the right of the individual, that is simply known as your stakeholder management approach. Hope inshallah idea bata sula clear shawe hum bhi. Now what it says, it simply says that why use a stakeholder management approach for business ethics. मतलब stakeholder management approach or business ethics, how they are connected. As I told you, that stakeholder approach is a descriptive method that studies actors' performance. Like Gura, simply, the way come your actor basanga perform kai. Guru kana aksar we have seen that which person will perform what type of duty. And if he is performing well, so how he is performing well. Same is the case clear under the stakeholder management approach. That organization, they are taking care of their customers. How they are taking care of their customers. Is it? If organization, your organization way management philosophy we are taking care of our employees. अब वही management philosophy that taking care of employees, so how they are taking care of their employees, either they are providing proper promotion, either they are providing the proper reward system, and that there is a proper compensation system. So it means now that is a practically, that is the ethical aspect. Is it? From that way, the stakeholder management approach clear is connected with the business ethics. So it simply stated that that is a descriptive method that where the performance clear of the actors are basically explained. That somebody is, for example, performing something. So how he is performing? Like as a Vayama, let's suppose, Chigura told teacher an chede ab khat teaching kai. Is it? Ab that is the claim of the management. Ab har your teacher lage sanga, for example, performance work kai. So descriptive stakeholder management approach chikam de, that will define the each individual, the each for example each entity performance. Then it says stakeholder management approach is the ethical way to act in the best interest of customers, employees, suppliers, stockholders, shareholders, to fulfill stakeholder rights. Simply stated, stakeholder management is simply, it is a method, it is an ethical way that how to treat customers, how to treat well employees, how to deal in the ethical way to the suppliers and the stockholders. Why? Because to fulfill their rights. They have some rights over the organization. It is the duty and responsibility of the organization to take care of the rights of the customer. Is it? Right of the supplier, right of the employees. Suppose your employee on time salary. If the employee is rendering services clear on time to the organization, it means in response employee has the right clear that organization should give proper on time salary to the employee. That is the right. Is it? So how the organization, the company, the management is protecting the rights of the entities, that is simply known as a stakeholder management approach ethically. So hope inshallah us par tasu laga idea clear shawi so what is stakeholder management approach the way sida. When we are talking about ethical parts in stakeholder management, कम parts से या simply ethics के कम सीजूना या ethical stakeholder management approach के कम सीजूना involve the अगदादी. Number one, the ethical dimension mean aspects of this approach is based on the following view. Yo खुदा दा ethical stakeholder management approach के justice is must. इंसाफ पकार दे. Already justice money, retributive justice, compensatory justice, distributive justice. Already we have discussed these things in detail. So the first thing is justice. Insaf pakar de. Like for example, hiring process de. If I am hiring clear male and female, uskora hiring chede male them hire come, female them hire koma. Lekin male de para the criteria is very much tough, and female de para criteria is a bit, for example, relaxed. So it means this is injustice. Yeah, for example, if I am hiring only the male and I am ignoring the female, just because of the stereotype thinking. Stereotype thinking simply means, let's suppose the females they are not suitable for the key position in the organization. I have a very typical stereotype thinking regarding to females, especially in the hiring process. So what I'm doing that during the hiring process, being as an HR manager, I'm only hiring the male and I am ignoring the female. So it means that there is unjust in the hiring process. The hiring process it is not valid. That's sahi. So it means there must be a justice. Awal khuda de stakeholder management approach ke in the ethical concern, justice is must. Second, taking care of individual rights. That's common de. Already I explained. To take care the rights of the individual. Simply stated, protect the right of the individual. Then we have organizations are not only economic in nature, but they should act in social responsible ways. If you remember, third point, padimane mukammal yo chapter ma tafsila explain kare de. Chukura organizations chikam de. Definitely, har your organization chikam de. Aha economic means unkavanu de para me. Means, for example, that every organization, it must fulfill the needs of the society. And when they fulfill the needs of the society, they definitely earn the profit. Money money na baghair khokar, profit na baghair organization chali de nishi. Lekin it doesn't mean only their main objective is economic earning. Is it profit generation? No. They must have to focus on the social issue of the organization. They must protect, provide the social interactions, the social responsiveness to the society. It means that their actions give proper orientation to the society welfare and society well-beings. इंशाल्लाह दा तासो लेक्चर प्रीवियस लेक्चरों की तासो कतले शी CSR के तो शमा डिटेल की एक्सप्लेन करें ली दा चोले कॉन्सेप्ट इंशाल्लाह it will make your idea fully clear there. Now, as I told you that we have two types of stakeholders. One was internal stakeholder and then we discussed the external stakeholders. अब how corporate या corporations, दलता corporate मतलब दादी company management, is it? अब how a company or how a corporate can protect the internal stakeholder, या norm सादा अल्फाज के, how a management or how a company can happy their internal stakeholder, or what is the corporate responsibility towards internal stakeholder. अब there are different responsibilities. I just have mentioned a few here just to make your idea clear. That is, take care of employees, taking care of their shares, empowerment to employee, teamwork, and participation management. Now, like बताते श्री कमल, so idea clear. Already we have focused clear these points in management. गोरा corporation से कम दे internal stakeholder संग खुशाला सातले शी. Number one, taking care of employees. अब how taking care of employees? To take care of the employees, suppose to protect the rights of the employee. For example, our sees number one, the recognition of the employee. There is a point see, I shall try my level best to yo do example usar idea clear come. First of all, the first thing employee chede sexual recognition. To recognize clear the employee. What is recognition? Employee recognition data way. Employee recognition simply means that if any of the individual is performing well in the organization, he or she is contributing more or he or she is putting more effort in the organization, no gura de chikam effort de, it must be appreciated by the organization, by the management. That is known as employee recognition. Now again, taking care kerashi employee. Another dena ilawa, proper equitable compensation system. Equitable compensation system, what does it mean? It means that there must be an equality in the compensation system of employees. Suppose if I am hiring a person, a male and female on the same designation, let's suppose zayo kastikam de zayo post de para and the designation, the post is, the job is HR assistant. Up suppose I have hired clear a male to as an HR assistant and a female as an HR assistant. Both are hired on the same designation, but unfortunately organization is providing high compensation to the male and low compensation. Compensation means salary, rewards to the female. A male is getting more as compared to female. That is again an injustice. It means that we are not taking care of employees. How we will take care of employees? When at the same designation, when there will be an equal compensation or equitable compensation, so then we will take care of our employees. Then alwa norum there is point see. So in this way, organization chikam de, they can take care of their internal stakeholders. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear to you. Then we have taking care of their shares. Sanga chima sastu chikura. So whatever the shares they have, or the shareholders having the shares about the organization, they should take care about their shares. Gura dina ilawa your bulk concept from there. Chikala hum organization want to keep happy their employees, is it? And again financially compensation nashtare. Suppose when organization your employee he or she is very much devoted to the organization, like financial organization is not able to sound. So then what happened? Bia mung sara your concept the SOPs. Again tamung SOPs for you. SOP. SOPs concept. SOPs concept that simply organization khapal employee la shares working, and the price, the rate of the share is less as compared to market price. Matlab suppose market ke shares per 10 rupees mane kharchegi, no aga employee which is very much devoted to the organization, no organization aga motivate kawalo de para aga share chikam de pa 15 rupees ya 16 rupees mane agila worki. This is just because of to motivate the employee. is it? So that is simply known as taking care of their shares. Yo khodada to properly provide on time information to the, let's suppose, shareholders, and second, provide SOPs. So in this regard, organizations chikam de aha taking care coalition, internal stakeholder. Number third, we have empowerment to employ. A very common concept, the empowerment to employ. What is empowerment? Empowerment simply means a delegation process, decentralization approach. Decentralization approach means hands-off management. Simply means some, for example, delegation या empowerment simply means decision making के employee चिकम दे सचवा अगा participation coalition. या empowerment means some a part of the job is assigned to the individual, सचवा with proper authority, with proper, for example, responsibility. That is simply known as empowerment. Well, by the name it is clear, empowerment. Empowerment means that empower, distribute the power to the employee, that they are able to take the decision. Now empowerment employee chikam de this raham matlab or individual chikam de sachwa aga backup ki deshi. Then we have the teamwork, group work. Why teamwork or group work? What is the reason? Reason is synergy effect. Reason is synergy effect. SE बदलता हुआ लिखा सही शो. अब what is synergy effect? Management के ताप थोड़ा बहुत टीचर भी. चुगुरा synergy effect simply means that when people combine together work in the form of groups, so they are putting the less effort and they are getting more output. Is it? No, दे पारा यो equation लिखा लिखी, and that is 2 plus 2 equal to 4. हालांकि sorry 5. Mathematically it is wrong, लेकिन management point of view, group point of view, team point of view, that is correct. हालांकि 2 plus 2 equal to 4 की, लेकिन it means that 2 plus 2 make 5. It means कि सूरत the actual result, the actual नज़ियात output is producing. That is known as the synergy effect. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. And the last we have participation management. What is participation management? What participation management is actually when management, when organization want to motivate their people, they have employee involvement program. That is known as EI, employee involvement. Now employee involvement program chikam de, that how to involve the employee in the management, that they should get more motivated. Employee involvement is done by participative management. What is participative management? Participative management simply means the concept of MBO. Management की मैं तो teach करम दे. Management by objectives. Participative management सादाल फास के MBO, management by objectives, that where top management with the supervisory managers, they mutually set the objectives. Is it? And then individuals are asked that find out the ways that how to achieve these objectives. No, short MBO home, that where the lower level managers, they definitely discuss clear their ways or achievements with the supervisor. या supervisor or management चकम दे top management the मिल के objective clear कई individual दे पारा अहुई तो लारे clear कई how you have to achieve, and then their results, their performances are checked clear through their assigned objectives. So that is simply known as your participation management. That is a employee involvement technique. So simply we can say that corporate, they can corporations या corporate या management, they can happy their internal stakeholders through taking care of employees, through taking care of their shares, through empowerment, through teamwork, group to create synergy effect, and through participation management. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear.